Hey class, good evening everyone. How are you all doing? I hope all of you are doing awesome. And welcome back again to another session, Umang series for grade 9. And today we'll be discussing the HOTS question of topic quadrilateral, and this will be the last session of this topic quadrilateral, and then we'll be starting the next topic for which the poll will also be generated by today. Okay, so let us start today's session. And before that, if you remember, I have given you two homework questions in the previous class. So the homework questions, before that, let us discuss, before discussing the homework questions, do like, share and subscribe to this Vedantu's grade 9th and 10th channel. This is the only channel which is working specially for grade 9th and 10th, so that no matter which part of the country you are right now, you will not be feeling left out from the previous from the other students. Okay, so let us start with the last class homework question. So first question which I have given you was that in this figure, AB is parallel to QP is parallel to CD, and Q is the midpoint of AC. If AB is equal to 4 cm and CD is equal to 6 cm, then find what is the length of PQ. Okay, so we need to find out what is the length of PQ. So let us understand it in this way. Now what we'll do, we know that since this Q is the midpoint, this Q is the midpoint of this AC, so we got to know this thing, that sir AQ is equal to QC, and these three lines are given parallel. Also this is 4 cm and this is 6 cm, right? Now what I'll do, I'll draw from a line B. From B I will draw a line which is parallel to AC. So let us say this point is, let's say, F. Okay, so I can say if I draw a line BF, so one construction which we are doing, that is draw BF parallel to AC, right? And let us say this point is G. Now once we have drawn this line, you can see that AB is parallel to CF, okay, and AC is parallel to BF. So if two pair of sides are parallel to each other, two opposite pairs of sides are parallel to each other, I can say that sir ABFC is a parallelogram. Okay, ABFC is a parallelogram. Why? Because two pair of opposite sides are parallel to each other because of our construction. So if that is true, then I know that this AC will be equal to BF, this AC will be equal to BF, and if this line is parallel to this AB as well as the CG, so this, if AQ, now you can say if these two lines are parallel, these two lines are also parallel. Okay, so AQBG is also a parallelogram. AQBG is also a parallelogram, right? So from here I can say that sir AB is equal to QG, both will be equal to 4 cm. So I can say sir AQ is equal to AB is equal to QG, and both will be equal to 4 cm, right? So I have got this length as 4 cm. So what I have used the property that for any quadrilateral to be a parallelogram, the two pair of opposite sides should be parallel. If that is true, I can say that will be a parallelogram. So now I have got the length of QG which is equal to 4 cm. I need the length of PG. If I know the length of PG, I can say PQ will be QG plus PG, right? Now look at this upper part. If you will look at this upper part very closely, you will find out that, as you know, see, now I have got that this AQ is equal to BG and this QC is equal to GF. So I can say G is the midpoint of BF as well. Okay, G is the midpoint of BF as well. Also you can say, as it is given, so I can say from here, okay, G is the midpoint of BF. Okay, if you have to write it, it will be like, again then you will say that this GF is equal to this GQCF will also be a parallelogram. So if it is a parallelogram, QC is equal to GF. So AQ is equal to BG, QC is equal to GF, that means G is also the midpoint, right? Now, as you know, from a midpoint of one side, just look at this triangle. From the midpoint of BF, if I draw a line which is parallel to this side, I know this will intersect this P. P is midpoint. Okay, so using converse of MPT. So in triangle, I am using converse of MPT in triangle BFD. So in triangle BFD, using converse of MPT, I can say that, sir, this GP is parallel to this, GP will be parallel, this is given, GP is parallel to DF and G is midpoint. So I can say GP will be half of, GP will be equal to half of DF. Now what is DF? As you know, this ABCF is a parallelogram, so it was 4. This is also equal to 4. So DF will be only 2 centimeter because 4 plus 2 has to be 6 centimeter, right? So from here I can say GP will be equal to half of 2. That means GP is equal to 1 centimeter. And if this is 1 centimeter, you can say the length of PQ will be 4 plus 1, which is 5 centimeter. So PQ is equal to 5 centimeter. Clear? So this is how we can solve the first question, and we have got the length of PQ to be 5 centimeters. So this was your first question. Now let's move to the next part. Let's move to the next question. The next question was, the diagonals of a rhombus are 24 and 18 centimeter respectively. Find the length of each side of the rhombus. So this is, I have told you, it is one very common type of question which will be asked. So rhombus, the main property which you have to remember is, two properties are very important here. One thing is rhombus, the diagonals of a rhombus bisect each other. The second property is diagonals of a rhombus bisect each other at 90 degree. So this angle is 90 degree. Okay, and let us say this diagonal is 24. So since they are bisecting, this part will be 12 centimeter only. And since this whole is 18, since they are bisecting, this side will be 9 centimeter only. Now let us say this is x. So I know since it is a right angle triangle, using Pythagoras theorem, you can say x square is equal to 12 square plus 9 square, which is 144 plus 81, which is equal to 225. So if x square is equal to 225, we can say x is equal to 15 centimeter. So the length of this side will be equal to 15 centimeter. Okay. So this is how easily these questions can be solved. So these were your two homework questions, for which the answer for the first one, it was 5 centimeter, and for the second one it is 15 centimeter. So how many students have given me the correct answer? I have got the correct answer from Rahul, Field Physics, Simashri, Shandir Prakash, Payan Debanath and Hiram Damle. So very good bacho, very good. Keep doing the good work, and let's get more answers this time in the next session. Okay, so let's move to the next part. So today we'll be starting, as I've told you, we'll be doing the HOTS question as well. So let's start with the first question. The first question is, the diagonals of a rectangle is inclined to one side of the rectangle at 25 degree. What is the measure of the acute angle between the diagonals? So let us say we have a rectangle here. So this is your rectangle. Okay. Now what they are saying, the diagonal of a rectangle is inclined to one side of the rectangle at 25 degrees. So let us say this angle is 25 degree. This angle is what? 25 degree. Okay. And now if this angle is 25 degree, bacho, I can easily say, so diagonals of a rhombus, diagonals of a rectangle bisect each other. Okay. Diagonals of a rectangle bisect each other, and diagonals are equal as well. So if the diagonals are equal, both are equal, and since their half part will also be equal, so I can say, sir, AO will be equal to OB. So if two sides are equal, the angle opposite to them will also be equal. So this is 25 degree, right? Now if it is 25 degree, I can easily get the third angle. So this third angle will be 180 minus 25 minus 25, that is minus 50. So what I am getting, 180 minus 50 will be equal to 130 degree. If this angle is 130 degree, this angle will be, I can say 180 minus 130. Why? Because it will be a linear pair or a straight angle. So this angle will be equal to 50 degree. This angle will be equal to what? 50 degree, right? Or you can easily use the exterior angle theorem as well. This angle will be equal to sum of other two angles. So anyway, you can get the answer. The acute angle between, the main part is acute angle they have asked. So the acute angle between the diagonals will be 50 degree. Understood? So let's move to the next question. The next question which we have is this. A square is inscribed in an isosceles triangle, in an isosceles right triangle. Okay, so we have an isosceles right triangle. So first thing, this is right triangle, and since it is an isosceles right triangle, I can say, so this angle will be 45 degree and this angle will also be 45 degree, because two sides are equal. If two sides are equal, so this both angles should be equal. So x plus 90 is 180. So 2x is equal to 90. That means x is equal to 45. So both the angles should be 45 degree, right? Then a square is inscribed inside it, so that the square and the triangle have one angle common. That means a square is inscribed here, right? One angle common means 190 degrees common here. So this part it is shown here, right? And all the sides are equal of a square, right? Now what they're saying, show that the vertex of the square opposite to the vertex of the common angle bisects the hypotenuse. That means this is the common angle, opposite to it the vertex. This vertex, let us say this point is bisecting this part. So let us say it is A, B, C, E, F. So you have to prove that AE is equal to EC. This is what we need to prove now. This is what we need to prove. First thing, bachon, if you will identify here, I now know that, sir, one thing I can say for sure, if this angle is 90 degree, this angle is 90 degree, so I can clearly say that, sir, this angle will definitely be also 90 degree, right? 180 minus 90. And now I can say, sir, since corresponding angle givens are equal, or you can say, even not even saying that, you can say the interior consecutive angles formed are supplementary to each other. So from here I can say that, sir, DE is parallel to BC, or also it was a square, so DE is parallel to BF. That means DE is parallel to BC as well. So in many ways you can prove that DE is parallel to BC. If DE is parallel to BC, I can say now, sir, it is also transversal. So if this angle is 45, this angle should also be equal to 45 degree. Right? Yes, sir. Now that angle is 45, this is 90. So if I use the angle sum property, this whole should, if I use the straight angle property, this whole angle should be 180 degree. So we will get this angle to be also 45 degree as well. This angle will also find out to be 45 degree. Correct? Now what is happening, bacho? See clearly. As you can see, first thing clear, if two angles are 45 degree and this angle is right angle triangle, I now know that this side and this side are also equal, and this side and this side are also equal. So they are also forming a pair of isosceles triangle, right? And one more thing you can say that, sir, now that means this side and this side are equal, this side and this side are equal. So you can prove in triangle ADE and triangle EFC. First thing I can say that, sir, AD, see, first I have got AD is equal to DE and DE is equal to EF. So EF is equal to FC. So I can say, sir, AD is equal to EF. Second thing I can say is DE is equal to FC. And third thing I can say is angle ADE is equal to angle EFC. So by side angle side, I can say triangle ADE is congruent to triangle EFC. And if these two are congruent, I can say by CPCT, AE is equal to EC by CPCT. So once I have used this part, I can easily say that, sir, this E is bisecting the hypotenuse. Understood? So very easy question. Just you have to understand this part, that in geometry all the chapters are related, so you have to use any theorem, whatever you like. So whenever we are drawing the diagram, it becomes very easy for us to solve it, because when you draw the diagram, you can visualize the question. Okay, chalo, let's move to the next question now. The next question we have is this. In this figure, BE is perpendicular. This BE is perpendicular to AC. Okay, this BE is perpendicular to AC. AD is any line from A to BC intersecting BE at H. P, Q and R respectively the midpoints of AH, AB, where is AB? AB and BC. Okay, so P, Q and R are the midpoints. P, Q and R are the midpoints. Okay, I'm just So this is a rough diagram. Okay, now prove that angle, this is angle PQR, this angle, you have to prove this angle is equal to 90 degree. You have to prove this angle is equal to 90 degree. Now see, first thing which will come to my mind is they have given that it is P, Q and R are midpoints. So midpoints, whenever I will see, I'll have this thing into my mind is midpoint formula. Midpoint theorem, right? So what I'll say, that sir, first thing I can say, let us look at this triangle. Let us look at this triangle. Okay, so now if you look carefully at this triangle, you know that Q is the midpoint and we have to prove that QH is parallel. Okay, H we don't know. Do one thing. Take the whole triangle. Take the whole triangle. You will say that sir, in this whole triangle, Q and R are the midpoints. Right? So I can say, sir, in triangle ABC, Q and R are midpoints of AB and BC. So using MPT, I can say, sir, QR is parallel to AC and also QR is half of AC. But since I am using angles, I have to find out angles, so the length of the side will not matter to me much. Okay, so main thing I have got this QR is parallel to AC. Now you have to go for the smaller triangle. Now you will go for the smaller triangle. Which triangle I am talking about? You will go for this triangle. If QR is parallel to AC, you can say QH is parallel to AE as well. So from here you can say one thing, that QH is parallel to AE. Right? QH is parallel to AE, you have told, and Q is the midpoint of AB. So using converse of MPT, I can use the converse of MPT. Okay, so if I use the converse of MPT, what I will be getting? I will be getting H is also the midpoint. But will this help me? It will help me in a, okay, let's see whether that is needed or not. So chalo, if I have told that these two are parallel, what other things I can get? So by using of converse of MPT, I can say H is midpoint of BE. I don't know whether it will be used or not, but let's see here. First thing I can say that, sir, if these two lines are parallel, so if this angle is 90 degree, this angle is also 90 degree. Right? Both the angles are 90 degree. Correct? Now, think here properly, bacho. I am naming two angles. Let us say this whole angle is angle 1. Okay, and this angle is angle 2. Right? And you know that angle 1 plus angle 2 plus this 90 degree is equal to 180 degree using triangles, angles and property. So you know angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 90 degree. This is the one relation we have got. This is the one relation which we have got. And I know that, sir, these two lines are parallel to each other. These two lines are parallel to each other. So first thing, if you know these two lines are parallel to each other, now look carefully. This angle. This angle. See, these two lines are parallel. Okay. And this is a transversal line. So whatever is this angle, same should be this angle. So I can say, sir, this will be angle 1 using corresponding angle, right? So I can say, sir, angle BQH will be equal to angle 1. Why? Corresponding angle. Where corresponding angle? Because QH is parallel to AE. Second thing, what I can say is that, sir, again, I would say one more thing, that now let us talk about some more other triangle. Okay, chalo. So this part I have got is angle 1. Chalo. So now let us see what we have got till now. So what I have got, this is angle 1. This is also angle 1. Okay, now this was angle 2. Correct? Now take this triangle. Assume this triangle here, this part. this part here. Q is the midpoint. Q is the midpoint. Okay, and P is the midpoint here. Can I say P is the midpoint? No, P is the midpoint. I cannot prove that P is the midpoint till now. So what I can say, P are the midpoints of AH. Achha, it is given na, P is the midpoint. So joining two midpoints, if I draw a line, this QP will be parallel to BH. So from here I have got that QP is parallel to BH. And if QP is parallel to BH, bachcho, you can say one thing, sir, this angle and this angle both has to be equal. So I can say this angle will be equal to angle 2. Okay, why? Because corresponding angle. By these two sides are parallel, na? So you have got that, sir, angle AQP is equal to angle 2. Why? The reason is corresponding angle. Where corresponding angle? Because QP is parallel to BH. Now see what we have got. I have told that this angle is equal to angle 2. This angle is equal to angle 1. AB is a straight line. So sum of these three angles, angle BQH plus angle this HQP or RQP plus angle RQP plus angle PQA or AQP should be equal to 180 degree. Now you know this is angle 1 and this is angle 2. So angle 1 plus angle 2 is 90 degree. So you can say ki, sir, angle RQP is 180 minus 90. So angle RQP is equal to 90 degree. Okay, so this is how you have to plan your part. See, when I started, I knew this thing that there has to be something by which I can prove that this angle will be 90 degree. So I have assumed this thing ki, okay, 190 degree wherever they have given me this 190 degree, I have tried to use that part. I have told this is angle 1, this is angle 2. Then what I have done? Then I have told ki, sir, let's take this triangle. And if I take this triangle using corresponding angle, I have told this is also angle 1. And then I have taken this angle and using corresponding angle, I have told that this is angle 2. And then I have used angle sum property. So this is how you have to figure it out very clearly that what is going to be your next part. So try to think about it, and this is becomes very easy when you draw the diagram. Okay, chalo. So let's move to the next part. In the figure, ABCD is a trapezium, okay, in which AB is parallel to CD. Okay, so then E and F are the midpoints of AD, okay, and BC respectively. DF and AB are produced to meet at G. Yes, we can see it there. Also AC and EF are intersecting at point O. Okay, so they are intersecting here at point O. So you have to prove that EO is parallel to AB, okay, and AO is equal to OC. So two things we have to prove now. Now see, first thing I can say here, bachcho, very clearly I can say first thing. So we have to prove first that EF is parallel to AG. So from E, if I can say anyhow, chalo, CF is this part and vertically opposite angle, one thing I can say, and then this is a transversal angle. So okay, chalo. So now let us take about these two triangles. Let's talk about these two triangles. Okay, first thing I can say is that this angle will be equal to this angle. Why? Because it is given both the sides are parallel. So by I can say that, sir, in triangle DCF and triangle FBG, I can say one thing, that angle C or angle DCF is equal to angle FBG. Why? Because of interior alternate angle. Second thing I can say, CF is equal to FB. Why I can say that? Because F is midpoint. Okay, and then the third thing I can say that, sir, these two angles will be vertically opposite angles. So angle CFD is equal to angle BFG. Why? Because of vertically opposite angle, right? So from here you can say, sir, triangle FCD is congruent to triangle FBG. And now if these two are congruent, I can say DF is equal to FG. From here I can say DF is equal to FG by CPCT. That means F is midpoint of DG as well. F is the midpoint of DG as well. F is the midpoint of DG as well. Okay. Once I have got this thing, then I will take this whole triangle. Now I have got this whole triangle, so you know that E is the midpoint of AD, F is the midpoint of DG. So I can say, sir, using MPT, so in triangle ADG, using MPT, what I can say using MPT? Using MPT, I can say that, sir, EF is parallel to AG, and if ES is parallel to AG, part of EF, which is EO, will also be parallel to part of AG, which is AB. So first result we have proved it here. First result we have proved it here. The next result we have is AO is equal to OC. You have to prove. What you have to prove? You have to prove that AO is equal to OC. Now again, what you can do, bacho? See, you can use now converse of MPT. In which triangle you will be talking about now? You will be talking in this triangle. So if you use this triangle, you know E is the midpoint, and this EO is parallel to AB. That means EO is parallel to DC as well. So if EO is parallel to DC, this O will intersect the third side at the midpoint. So this O is the midpoint of AC. That means from here, using converse, you can say AO is equal to OC. Okay, so 3 steps here to move ahead, and then you will be getting your answer. Okay, chalo. So let's move ahead to the next part. The next question we have is this. ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay, ABCD is a parallelogram, and E is the midpoint of side BC. Okay, if DE and AB, when produced, meet at F, prove that AF, this AF is equal to twice of AB. This AF is twice of AB, so that means you have to prove that this B is the midpoint. Now one thing we know, bacho, that ABCD is a parallelogram, they have already given. Okay, so I can say that, sir, this AD is parallel to EB. AD is parallel to EB. Also, they have told E is the midpoint of BC. E is the midpoint of BC. Okay, so first thing, again, beta, it is very similar to that question. It is very similar to that question. You will prove these two triangles similar first. You will prove these two triangles congruent first. Prove these two triangles congruent using same as the previous question. Okay. This angle is equal to this angle, vertically opposite angle, and this side is equal to this side. So by CPCT, you can say E is the midpoint of DF as well. Once you have got E is the midpoint of DF as well, then you will take this whole triangle, and then you will say from E, if you will draw a line which is parallel to the third side, will intersect the second side at its midpoint. So you will get this B is the midpoint of AF. So you will be getting AB is equal to twice of AF. Okay. So very similar to the previous question. Let's move to the next part. So the next question we have is this. What is the next question we have? We have that in the figure P, Q and R are the midpoints of side BC, AC and AB of triangle ABC. If BQ and PR intersect at X and CR and PQ intersect at Y, okay, that is shown here, show that XY is 1/4 times of BC. XY is 1/4 times of BC. So first, utilize the information which is given here. So first thing, they have told that this PQR, they all are the midpoints of this part. So I can say, first thing, bacho, if these two sides are parallel, I can say using MPT, okay. Using MPT, I will be getting 3 relations. What is that? That's sir, PR is half of AC and PR is equal to PR is parallel to AC. Second relation which I can get, once I have taken for PR, then for PQ. So PQ will be equal to half of AB and PQ is parallel to AB. And third part which you can get from here is RQ is half of BC and RQ is parallel to BC. So these are the 3 relations which we have got using MPT, because they have given it as was the midpoint. Okay. Now let's think about the next part. What they are saying, we need to prove that XY, we need to get some relation in the XY. So if I have XY as the midpoint, then I can go for something else, right? So I need to prove XY is the midpoint. How do I go to prove that XY is the midpoint? See, what I can say here, let's talk about this triangle. From this relation, you know that PR is parallel to AC. So from here, you can say one more thing. See, in triangle ABQ, we know R is midpoint of AB. And second thing we know is RX is parallel to AQ because PR is parallel to AC. Arey bhaiya, if PR is parallel to AC, their parts will also be parallel. So once we have got it, then using converse of MPT, I can say this side will intersect this point at the midpoint. Okay, midpoint of this side. So X is the midpoint of BQ. So from here I can get, using converse of MPT, I can say X is midpoint of BQ. X is the midpoint of BQ. Similarly, you will choose another triangle and you will get Y is midpoint of RC. Y is midpoint of RC. Okay, so X is the midpoint of BQ and Y is the midpoint of RC. Okay, chalo, in a way to we have got somewhere. Chalo. Now let us prove one more thing. I need to prove that this X is the midpoint of this P. X is the midpoint of this PR. I need to focus on the point where X is the midpoint of this PR. Okay, how can I get these things? Okay, chalo. So how can I say that? Take these two triangles. If I take these two triangles, I can say first thing, sir, these two angles are equal, vertically opposite angles, right? Then I know that, sir, this angle and this side are equal. BX is equal to RQ, where I have got it here. And the third thing which I can say is that, what I can say, the third thing I can say is, sir, these two angles will be equal. Why? Because, sir, AB is parallel to PQ. So these are two parallel lines. So this will be interior alternate angles formed, right? So from here I can prove that's a triangle. Okay, so I'm not writing this whole part, I'm just writing it here. So from this point you can get triangle BRX is congruent to triangle QPX. Once you have got this part, you can say by CPCT RX is equal to XP. And similarly, if you will use here this same part, if you will, you can use it here as well. You will take this one triangle, and so here if you can use these two triangles. So again, if you will prove it from here also, you will be getting PY is equal to QC. Okay, so from here I have got, so using these two proofs, you can say that X and Y will be the midpoints of PR as well as PQ. See, bachcho, these questions are a bit lengthy. Okay, so from here, once you have got this, that they are midpoints here, now again you will be using midpoint theorem. So midpoint theorem says what? That this line joining midpoints of two sides will be parallel to third side and half of it. So using MPT, now in PQR, you will be getting RQ is equal to, half of RQ is equal to XY, and already we knew that half of RQ is half of BC. Okay, so I can say half of RQ I can write as half of BC is equal to XY. So that is what you wanted to prove. XY is equal to 1/4 times of BC. Okay, so this is how this can be proved. It's very sweaty in here today. The ACs are not working maybe. So chalo, let's move to the next question. Next question. As shown in the figure, triangle ABC, this ABCD is a square and triangle EBC is an equilateral triangle. Find the measure of angle DAE. Now DAE, this angle you need to find out. It can be find out very easily, bachcho. Nothing much to think about it here. Okay, so it is a square, so all the sides are equal, and since it is an equilateral triangle, these sides are, all the sides are equal. So this is 90. Now this is 90 and these two angles should be equal, and this is 60. So total this angle is 90 plus 60, 150 degree. So this angle is 15, this angle is also 15, and if this is 15, the rest over part will be 90 minus 15. which is equal to 75 degree. So that is equal to 75 degree. Understood? So this can be done in this way. Now let's move to the next part. So this is your homework question. ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral. Line AD and BC meet at a point E. AD and BC, they are meeting at a point E. If angle BAD is equal to 75 degree, BAD is 75 degree and ADC is 100 degree, then find angle AEB. Okay, so the main thing here you have to focus is cyclic quadrilateral. What to do, how to do, I've already explained it in the previous part. So this is a homework question. Let me see how many of you would be able to give me correct answer. Okay, bachcho, so this is all in today's class. I'll see you soon in the next section with the new chapter. Okay, till then, bye bye, good night. No, not good night. Let me tell you some more things. Okay, so Vedantu's app, I would like to tell you all about this part. So one thing is why Vedantu app is very much required for you all, because this is one app which will provide everything for your study material. See, you are getting free doubt solving facility. You are getting free study material, you are getting practice tests, you are getting live classes by top teachers. So all the features in one app. So directly go for this app as well. Okay. Also, you can now download the PDF for the master session which you have attended as well. Do join the Telegram group on Vedantu class grade 9th and 10th. Okay, the link with me in the description as well. So do join that group, because all the students there is a huge community of all the students. So you can put your doubts there and you can get to know with many students as well. Okay, bachcho, for any queries you can reach out to me at gopal.paliwala@vedantu.com. Also do like, share and subscribe to this channel. Like this video if you have loved this video, loved the problems which I have brought for you today, and I'll be back soon with the next session. Till then, bachcho, bye bye, good night. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.